Hello Blizzard fans, this is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Spork and Waffles on Iron Fortress, the latter edition. This replay was submitted to me at my Gmail address, falconpaladin@gmail.com, by a subscriber named Lucas. He said this is a really awesome ZBT, and I'm really excited to bring this to you. And without much further ado, let's go ahead and introduce the players. In the bottom right of Iron Fortress, the latter edition, it is the red Zerg player, it is Spork. And in the top right of Iron Fortress, the latter edition, we have the blue Terran player, it is Waffles. Alright, so Waffles I think came in as random, if I remember the loading screen correctly. So what that means is he's probably a pretty good player, or else just messing around, trying to get good with all three races and isn't quite there yet. We have a spawning pool first build here from Spork. Waffles doing fairly standard stuff. Yeah, it's going to be a Reaper expand here. Most likely going to see a Reaper pop out, do some harassment. But the spawning pool, I believe, was first. Yeah, that hatch is not even close to being finished yet. So we're going to have a Queen out, some Lings out to deal with that Reaper before it does too much damage. But I think we're still going to see it. Yep, no, the Terran player is not going to give up and go home just because it's going to be a little bit more hard for the Reaper to get damage and get stuff out. Still get that good scouting information that you really need in all matchups in this game. But here we go, Reaper. Where is he? Here he is. So we're going to follow him as he moves across the map. He knows exactly where the Zerg player is. We're going to slow things down because these guys are fast enough as it stands. Production tab shows a Queen coming out, speed being made immediately by Spork, and the Reaper actually hanging out. Why are you hanging out? Go. Here we go. Get out there. Scout. Kill things. Go, go. Move, move. Do not attack the Queen, though. That is a bad idea. Throwing the MD8 charge there. I always forget. KD8 charge. Man, I am bad at this. Alright, KD8 charge coming up. The Reaper zooms around the bottom side here. I'm going to try to get that scout and see the spawning pool. See, speed is being researched. The Queen is up, though. Really not. Ooh, KD8 charge again popping up. And pops on out. Doesn't really get any kills there. Kind of just some harassment. A few swings there from the Queen. It gets out of there. KD8 charge bouncing that Queen again. That is really fun. I kind of like that ability. It doesn't do a whole lot of damage. I think it's 10 damage. That it does. Let's make sure here. 10 damage. Explodes after a short delay. And this is a good... Actually, is that a... Ooh, Overlord drops. Okay, this has actually been a theme in our ZVTs here recently, or ZV whatevers, is that the Zerg players are really messing around with this drop capability you can do on individual Overlords before you actually even have a lair. So you can't make all your Overlords droppable, but we're going to send out a ton of Speedlings. Speed is just about finished. You know how there's usually this wall here that no amount of Lings could ever get through? Well, hey, now you can just drop guys on in. The wall doesn't matter anymore, and you have to win with just the units you have available. And what's it going to be here? The Overlord coming on up. There's a single Marine trying to kill it. Is it going to be able to... I don't think it's going to be able to do it. The Zergling's all dropping in. The Marine dies immediately. KD8 charge killing a few of the Zerglings, and this Overlord can actually lift and drop from this particular position. Doesn't really have to move at all. These Lings are going crazy, trying to take down supply depots, trying to kill these Hellions. Not quite able to do so, though. Up to 8 kills on that Hellion. That is huge. Supply depot goes down, though. That is not a good thing. Is that another supply depot going to fall? I think it just might, unless an FCV comes off to repair it, and no. Now we are supply blocked for Waffles. All he has are all of these workers and these Hellions, which is pretty good, to be honest, against this number of Zerglings. And there is no wall. What on earth is Waffles going to be able to do? Going to try to get the supply depots up, but no, not able to do so before the Lings come back in. The Zerglings doing tons and tons of damage, going right after those Hellions, focusing them down one by one, but there are more Hellions coming out of that factory. SCVs dying left and right. It is only 13 SCVs left for the Terran player, but I think that might be just about it. There are still some Lings here trying to kill stuff, but they aren't really super committed. Okay, I lied. Another huge swell of Lings coming in for Waffles, desperately defending with all of his SCVs, rebuilding his supply depot wall is Waffles. Continuing to make these Hellions is an excellent choice. He is down to 23 minerals, though. Cannot make any more Hellions after these two come out. And what are we seeing here? Are we actually going to go for Roaches? Yeah, Roach Warren popping up, as far as that production tab tells me. It's 21 to 12 Harvesters. The Zerg player is in the lead, but I've been in this position before. You do so much damage to the Terran player in the early game, and you think you're in a great spot, but then the Mules come out, the SCVs come out very, very quickly, and pretty much you're behind economically before you even know it. We are morphing banelings in, though. Banelings, roaches, these are good answers to what's going on. Are we going to just drop the banelings on top of stuff? No, why would you go up the front door? Just drop them in. You can do that, right? Yes, Overlord does have the drop capability here, as does this one. Go pick something up, Overlord. Drop, drop, drop. You can do this. This is a lot of banelings. This is enough definitely to bust through this wall. The Hellions, though, a lot of Hellions to deal with the residual Zerglings, but this might be over making banelings, to be honest. We are still kind of making some workers back here at home. Spork hasn't entirely gone super all in on this attack. It is still 28 to 21 harvesters. Here we come up the ramp. The banelings doing the charge. Widowmine, though, might get a shot off. It does manage to kill one of the banelings, and the lings try to get back up on in. They are able to do so. That Widowmine hit could be huge, though, but it is so many Hellions. Good micro here from Waffles. The blasts are burning down workers, or Zerglings left and right. SCV standing to fight, taking some damage as well, but actually doing a pretty darn good job. So, Brentford going Widowmine. Yeah, Widowmine Hellion SCV right here against this Ling Baneling attack. I like it. 26, 24 Zerglings in production. Be very, very, very careful here, Spork. I know you're on 2 base. I know you're feeling good about yourself, but man, all this aggression, these are a lot of lings that could be workers. You could be up to like 70 harvesters by now. I mean, I guess not necessarily, because you did kill a lot of stuff at home or at the Terran base with those, and the Terran player would be able to harass you if he was not so busy defending. But at the same time, I mean, how many Zerglings have you lost? 97 Zerglings have died 7 minutes into the game. That is a lot of Zerglings. I don't know if I agree with this decision of Spork to try to bust this wall again. You know there are Widow Mines, you know there are a million Hellions, and now we're going to have tanks? Not going to happen. Oh, this deck is not going to go very well at all. So, Lucas, I don't know if you're the Zerg or the Terran here, but thanks for sending that in again. And if you are the Terran player, you're doing pretty darn well here. It's getting those tanks out is a good choice. Oh, the Hellions pop on in. They're going to try to roast these Zerglings down before they can actually get up. And they see the Banelings and then back on up. They're going to raise the supply depot wall, get the tanks into position, and then say, yes, please bring your Banelings in. That is what you want to do. Oh, dropping them in the back, though. That is actually pretty darn sneaky. The Overlord does not have speed. Keep in mind, the Hellions... Yep, tank does actually get a shot off there and kill 3 of those. The Banelings come on in. Good pull here, though, by Waffles. Are we actually going to get a hit from the Banelings? Yes, there is a hit from the Banelings. It is 22 harvesters have died in the game. Down to 17 now. Trying to get in there are the Lings, but no, the Widowmines and the tanks just do too much damage. Terran units, Terran have a lot of splash damage units, like splash damage, splash damage, splash damage, right? And Lings are super susceptible to splash damage, so maybe don't go all Lings at this point. Okay, he's going more Lings. So many Lings out on the field here. Again, this is something I do. I like to get stuck on Lings. They're fast. They're easy to control. They're easy to get out of range of things that are trying to attack you. You don't have to worry about retreating, being too slow or anything like that. Evolution Chambers going up as well. The Terran player preparing to take a second base, not really feeling super comfortable to do so yet. I can't really blame him. This constant pressure has been really, really eating at him. And, oh, the Widow Mines go off and hit an Overlord full of Banelings. 11 Banelings have died. I think that probably counted the ones inside that Overlord there. But just kind of sitting back right now. The Lings, this single roach. He made a single roach. Is that what he did? Yes, there are 2 roaches on the field now. More in production. And what just died there? I don't actually know what died there. Either way, Lings come up. They check. See, is there an expansion? Spork says no, not an expansion. There are so many Hellions, though. Look at how many Hellions this is. This is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14 Hellions on the field right now. All those Lings are not going to stand a chance. And I like this response from our friend Spork here. He says, there are 18 Hellions on the field. I'm going to make a spine crawler. That will save my third base for sure. No, it won't. But Waffles is actually choosing to defend instead of harass. Hellions are really good at harassment, not so good at defending. This single roach says, I can kill all... No single roach, you cannot. This tank now has 5 kills. This is pretty much going to be mech play. I don't know that we've seen a Terran go mech in one of my Legacy of the Void casts quite yet. I'm trying to remember if I have. Remind me in the comments, but why are we pulling all the SCVs in the world? I guess we are pretty much mined out up here. What was that? 120, yeah, pretty much mined out in the main. That's pretty amazing. Mined out at the 10-minute mark of the game here. That is pretty crazy, but I guess he hasn't been able to take an expansion, so all of his workers have been kind of oversaturating this natural, or the main, which makes sense. So 2 base to 3 base. We are kind of stuck on Zerglings and Roaches at this point. I'd like to see maybe, do we have a lair? We have a lair. Maybe going to something like Ultras, or we are individually popping these guys to be able to make them transport. That has to be more expensive. Hold up, hold up. Morph to... Where is that ability? Here it is. So it's 25 gas to evolve Fendril Sacs with each individual Overlord. Or... Wait! That's not an upgrade anymore. Okay, I didn't realize they got rid of that. So basically, to do Overlord drops, you have to morph every single Overlord with your dropping ability, which... Oh, wow, that's 25 gas each. That's a lot of gas. It used to be, what, 200 to give all of your Overlords that ability? So, I mean, I guess... I don't know. I guess that's a fair trade, especially for the early game harassment, but... What is this? All lings, a few roaches in here, not much else. In base defense, we have a single tank, we have Widow Mines, but everything's concentrated out here. Really nothing in the back door. I think we might be able to destroy a couple production facilities here. Okay, so I like this play from Spork, dropping everything in, doing a bit of a doom drop. And there is the tank there, and the roaches come over to try to deal with the tank. These lings need to attack. No! Careful! I just... at least get the tank. There we go. At least we got the tank. Widowmine shots going out. Roaches are good against Hellions, but against this number of Hellions, I just don't know. Yeah, I mean, they're slowly getting burned to death, but actually chasing the Hellions away into defense range of that tank. Can we actually get the tank? No, the micro is not that fantastic. The tank now has 10 kills, turning his attention over here. Oh, Widowmine shots actually friendly firing that tank to death. So that was pretty good. I like that maneuver there from that Ling. Sacrifices itself to make sure that tank dies and sparing many of his Zergling brethren. Meanwhile, Spire is coming up just about finished here for Spork, transferring all the drones out of the natural out to the second and the third bases, which are now oversaturated technically. Taking another base would be really good. Trying to get some scouting information off. Is that Overlord? Did it get a drop? No, it doesn't have the drop capability. Ah, and we have Liberators popping out now. Alright, so Liberators in the air to deal with the mutas that are coming. I don't know if that was scouted or not by the Terran player. And no, it has not been scouted at all. Liberator now has a single kill, having killed an Overlord, feeling very, very proud of himself. Another drop attempt by Spork. I've been here. I don't know that drops are super effective against Terran. But either way, we have the Liberator, we have the Vikings. We're going to drop everything right about here. And might be able to get some more damage off just because the tank is not there anymore. But the Liberators come in to deal with these Overlords. The Roach drops are good. What are you going to do with the Roaches? Pretty much sniping down supply depots as fast as humanly possible. And we do have Hellbats in here, the combination as well. Hellbats do not do well against Roaches. The trading here is pretty darn, I think it's going to be agreeable for Spork at this point. He is sniping down a lot of stuff. And yeah, we actually are winning the battle here with these Roaches. Waffles is in a lot of trouble sniping down that tank, trying to snipe down the other tank, but no, the Roaches are a little too low health. These Vikings are going to die because they do not do well against these Roaches at all. Viking, no, this Viking's a hero Viking with 2 kills, and that's it. The rest of the Roaches do manage to die. Widowmine hits popping off on everything that tries to get in at the front door. Pretty much Waffles is stuck on 2 base at this point, and the Zerg player is on 3. I don't know, 47 to 33 Harvesters. I feel like the Zerg player could have won this game already if you kind of wanted some higher tier units. The Mutalisks are good, but you've seen there are Liberators, and Liberators do pretty darn well. I'd like to see the Liberators kind of set up an anti-ground force up here at the front, but in the meantime, Roaches going to town, trying to snipe down all of these Hellbats as best as you can while taking tank fire. Very brave Roaches. There we go, turning around to kill one more of the Hellbats. Do we have the anti-tank, what is it, anti-ground mode? Anti-ground mode thing enabled. We do not. And it's not actually able to be researched because we don't have a tech lab on one of these starports yet. So maybe it won't be for a while, but it's pretty darn good. Let me tell you what, I've seen Maximus Black use that on one of his replays, and anti-ground mode is pretty fantastic. So flying out, we have a Viking Liberator force. I'm not sure what that's going to do. I guess kill these mutas and all these Overlords. That'd be pretty good. Supply blocking the Zerg player for sure with an attack like that. Anyway, drone comes out, scouts things, sees exactly what's going on. We're going to land the Vikings. We are. Drone, get out of there. Runaway drone. Nope. Immediately gets squished. And here we come. The anti-air force coming in, and all these Overlords are probably going to die. This is not enough mutas to deal with these Liberators, I don't think. But the move attack on the Vikings instead of attack move Move attack, just move. I guess it's just a move. Why did I say move attack there? I don't know. Weird. Anyway, scan goes down and says, okay, there are pretty much roaches and a few mutas here. And moving on in, here come the Liberators and the Vikings going to town on everything, killing another Overlord. The the mutas do not want to stay here. Instead, they manage to run away. Might get sniped off. Yep, one does get sniped off, and Liberators do that extra splash damage and kind of move back to the safety of the Vikings. Gonna try to snipe down all these mutas as best he possibly can. Waffles doing some good harassment with these air units. That's what he needs to do to get back in this game. He's still only down to 33 harvesters, though. That is not a whole lot. Vikings and Liberators are here heading back on home. The number of mutas on the field is 12, so not amazing. Not super amazing, but that's okay. They're going to fly around and do some harassment anyway. Not much by way of defense here in the mineral line. The muta's going to swoop on up and kill this tank, I have to imagine. Yes, tanks are juicy targets for mutalisks. They do so much damage but do not shoot up. And then flying away. They are faster than Liberators, which is nice for them because they can't really win in a straight up fight. Liberators, let's see what they do again for their damage. 7 damage, 2 attacks, and it is splash. Doesn't really say that here for some reason, but basically 14 damage, splash radius, and mutalisks have 120. So I mean, not great damage, but again, if the mutas are clumped up, you're doing exponential damage based on how many mutas are there in the group. A 4th base now being taken by Spork. Spork is just keeping that pressure on, man. Harassment, harassment, harassment. I haven't seen the player really move out at all, which is what you want to do anyway. More and more Liberators are here, yes. Sniping down everything. All these mutas are going to die. 2 of them are super low on health. They do manage to escape, but man, that was not a good engagement. These roaches do not want to walk into these tanks unless they're unsieged, in which case that might be a good choice. They are slow roaches, though. They do have +1/+1, which is fine. I'd like to see +2/+2, though. Sorry, production tab is back. Hydra's coming up, as well as an infestation pit, and Mass Liberator pretty much going mech. Like I said, it's going to be tank, Hellbat, Liberator, Viking. An interesting composition to be sure. We'll have to see if the Zerg player is able to win this regardless. Are there injects going on? There's not even a queen over here, is there? No, there is not. Not a queen over here. Oh, here she is. She's coming back and inject. Where were you, queen? Slacking on the job. That's where you were. Another group of mutas comes out. I don't know about this choice. We are actually researching high-sec auto-tracking, which means the turrets have extra range. Planetary Fortress have extra range. The mutas are going to come in and be disappointed because there's a missile turret here, but not really much to kill. A few workers, 8 workers, but not that many. Just kind of scouting things out. This base now going down for Spork. I think I'd rather see them take this base over here just because it is so easy to assault from this command center over the line to kill this hatchery. But yeah, see those Liberators and those Vikings? They're going to kill you all day, mutalisks. So it's Roach Hydra Muta here from the Zerg player, getting these upgrades, getting the +2 ranged attack, missile attacks too, yes, and as well as the range attack for the Hydralisks, the grooved spines. But holy mule drop here at the 3rd base, Batman. Yeah, that income is going through the roof right now for Waffles. 2,400 minerals per minute. Pretty darn amazing. Here comes the push with the mutas, the roaches, the hydras. Everybody pretty slow at this point, though. Retreating is going to be difficult, but against mech, that's usually not a problem just because mech is pretty slow on its own. A good drone transfer over here. It is 53 to 39 harvesters. Zerg player in the lead, has been in the lead most of the game here, trying to swoop in and get these missile turrets, but no, 2 missile turrets is a lot of damage, especially with the extra range to these mutas. Here comes the Roach Hydra, though, but there are tanks. I don't know. Oh, anti-ground mode has been enforced here by the Liberator. It's going to town, and all these Hydralisks, all these roaches are even going to get a single tank here, trying to move out. Really trying to do as much damage as you possibly can, but no, not even a single tank dies, and that entire Roach Hydra army is cleaned up. Liberator, 7 kills, 9 kills, 5 kills, 8 kills. Wow! You do not want to attack into that if you're a Zerg player, my friend. Mutas trying to attack again, but again, the missile turret ring is pretty darn good here for Waffles. Spork doesn't know what to do. Basically just making more Hydras, I guess, is the answer, he says. Maybe Mass Corruptor would be nice here. Right, Corruptor, Broodlord. Just deal with these air units, rain down the Broodlings from above with the Broodlords, but ooh, I do not know. Either way, more bases for the Zerg player, but only 1 at this point. This one's not really established yet. Yes, it is. Are we just going to tank here? Again, yes, there's just a tank here in range of that mineral line. Run away. Run away, drones. No, don't go there. Don't go right there. You're gonna... Are you safe? Where'd that tank go? Oh, I don't think it has sight, though. I think if you moved a Viking over, you could get there.
Vespine Geyser exhausted.
Yes, not enough sight. This is actually pretty lucky for our friend Spork. Waffles could decimate this line. He already pretty much has. I mean, this 5 kills there on that siege tank. That's a huge number of drones. But either way, moving up with this Roach Hydra army again, checking for a 4th base. There's really not one. Doesn't want to tack into the 3rd. That's not a good idea. Maybe coming in here would be okay. There's only 2 tanks. I think this tank's going to be rallied down to the 3rd. Nope, going to stay here for base defense. Okay, maybe smarter than I thought. Here we go. Getting that sight range. The tank now has, still has 5 kills. And can take gas here, but that is about it. Spork takes another base. Good job expanding all over the place, Spork. That's what you want to do. Anti-ground mode being enabled. Seems like overkill, I guess. But, Liberator now has a bunch of kills. Let's take a look. 10 kills on that Liberator. Woohoo! Is it a Sergeant? Is that what that said? Corporal for 8. And, where's that one that has 10? Let's find it. 9 Corporal. Shoot, where is it? 10 Sergeant. Yep. Very well played there, Mr. Liberator, good sir. Roach Hydra army looking pretty darn small and insignificant here. Our army size just not fantastic. Ooh, we do have Vipers, though. Maybe we could use Parasitic Bomb. Parasitic Bomb here with all this stuff when it gets clumped up would be pretty darn amazing. All right. Man, they sound so creepy. Either way, Ultra Cavern coming up as well. Remember that stuff I said about Spork being stuck on kind of 1-2 tier units? He's going full tier 3 now, ladies and gentlemen. And sucking down energy off, no. Yeah, I was going to say, don't take all of it from the Infestation Pit. You need that. Take some from this hatchery instead. That is a better choice for sure, especially since there's not much mining going on here at all at this point. There is an idle drone. You could probably put that to work. But again, Siege Tank has this base on lockdown. Doesn't really matter because there are so many other bases for the Zerg player. And I really haven't seen Spork get maxed out at this point. I mean, 61 harvesters, so many bases, a bunch of minerals. The injects just really haven't been on at this point. Or they have. Or are we just supply blocked? We were supply blocked for a while. I don't know. Maybe it just doesn't feel safe to get at that huge swell of drones. That's your 23 harvesters here. Split those up a little bit. No, this base is mined out. Can't mine here. Can mine here, but we're pretty much looking good with 14 harvesters there. And this base as well. Okay, I guess we expand again. Lots of expanding going on in this particular matchup. Overlords coming on over. The Vipers, what are they going to do is the question. Parasitic Bomb, again, would be very good against those air units. Blinding Cloud, maybe? Just Blinding Cloud on the tanks. But again, the anti-ground one from the Liberators does so much damage as this 4th base is being established by Waffles. It's an interesting choice, interesting composition decisions here. +3 Carapace for the ground units for Zerg coming on up, as well as +3 missile attacks. That is really, really good. But again, +3 ground mech. Yeah, ship and vehicle weapons level 3 on the way. Infernal pre-igniter for those Hellbats and Hellions as well. But here we come. Utas, Roaches, Hydralisks, Overlords. A perfect scan. Sees this composition exactly. The scan was good, though, I think, because... Is there a sensor tower? There, a sensor tower sees exactly where this army is. So here we come again. Big, big army. Throwing stuff. Yes, Parasitic Bomb going down on all of these Liberators. Is it enough to kill them is the question. Doing a lot of damage to them. Still kind of clumped up. They are weak, but they are not dead. The Hydra's trying to snipe down the weakened one. Roaches coming to town on these siege tanks, staying alive a lot longer thanks to those upgrades, but these tanks tearing those Hydralisks apart. The army's a little bit split up, trying to snipe down these Vikings and these medevacs as best as humanly possible. The tanks not going into siege mode might be a mistake here. Look at these Roaches and Hydras going to town on these tanks. Anti-ground mode being deployed at that 4th base, but I don't think there are any plans to move up there with the rest of this army. That is for sure. How are we doing? Do these Roaches still not have speed? Is that... Where is the Roach Warren? No, still no speed for the Roaches. I don't know why. Do the Hydralisks have Hydra speed? I don't think they do. They don't look like it. Are we going to get Ultras in here? That would be cool. Where the heck is our Hydra Den? Where did we put that piece of tech is my question. Hydralisk Den. There it is. Looks like we do have Hydra speed. So, alright. Not as bad as I thought. Zooming back in another perfect scan once more. Oh, Nidus Swarm popping up here at the 4th base. The workers are coming in at the exact wrong time. And how is this going to work? What's going to come out of there? Are we going to pop Ultras out of there? I don't think there are any Ultras, though. No, there are not. What are we going to pop out? Nothing? Was that like a bluff Nidus worm? Yeah, throwing down anti-ground mode on everything. But nothing. I think this is the first time I've ever seen a Nidus pop up. And nothing comes out of it. Okay, well that was an interesting play. The army's kind of out of position, but the attack comes a little bit too late. Moving on in though, we're going to deal with these number of tanks with all of these +3/+3 roaches. Anti-ground mode being deployed though, this is going to be huge. Yep, trying to get out of there are these roaches. Running away as fast as possible. Going to try to snipe down these tanks. Try to kill workers as best as they possibly can. Getting Vikings as well. I mean, pretty good. Moving on in, abusing the immobility of the Liberators. This tank goes down. Getting that sensor tower might be nice as well. The SCV's trying to get out, but no! They cannot get through this wall of roaches and Hydralisks. The Hydra is doing a lot of damage to the things in the air as well. Anti-ground mode being enabled, but Spork gets out of there as fast as he possibly can. Where is that Nidus worm popping up? Over here for some reason. Oh, is that the escape plan? Is that what this is? You don't want to be trapped, and so you're just going to go through the Nidus worm. Yes. Unfortunately, it only loads one at a time. It's a bit of a slow evacuation, but not too bad. Are we making... Oh, you have an Ultralisk, Dan. You haven't upgraded chitinous plating yet. But that's okay. Ultralisks, I'd really like to see them, but this Roach Hydra composition is good. Those Vipers were also nice. Bringing more Vipers might be pretty good. Small Roach counterattack here, killing more workers. How many SCVs have died? 48 SCVs have died in this game. That is a lot of SCVs. Down to 32 workers here for Waffles. That is not very many. Super oversaturated on this fourth base. No mining going on here at all. Widowmine's burrowing, and they get off shots, and the Roaches die immediately. Again... Widow Mines are good. You can't really win the game with them, though, so maybe don't rely on them too much. Another base coming up for Spork. Pretty much, Spork has had the economic advantage over the Terran the entire game, but he just hasn't really been able to get up an overwhelming force to kill the Terran altogether. And again, I still feel like the Zerg is pretty vulnerable. This Mass Roach play is good, but again, those Liberators with the anti-ground mode will go through that like, what is it, a hot knife through butter, I believe is the phrase. What are those circles? Okay, that's anti-ground mode, but kind of passively. The circles look weird. I don't know what that is. Another Nidus worm popping up here. Has the vision thanks to this Overlord. Going to be able to kill this base, but again, really not much mining going on here anyway. But I guess if you can remove that Vespine gas income, that's pretty nice. What's going to pop out of this? Roaches and Hydralisks. All the things are going to come out of this. Forcing a liftoff of that command center. And basically trying to kill these missile turrets, trying to kill these Vespine geysers, these refineries. Getting that sensor tower is good as well, making the Terran player a little bit more blind. And actually, this Nidus Worm is still up, so okay, more power to you, Nidus Worms. This network is a little bit bigger. The sensor tower can see it, though. And yeah, here come the Hellions. They're going to try to deal with it with that Infernal Pre-Igniter. I like watching Nidus Worms burn. It's pretty cool. Ready to go. Man, that is such a good animation. Very cool. Props to whoever did that at Blizzard, that's for sure. Base up again with a single spine crawler for defense. I like this attitude from Spork. Terran player in a lot of trouble now, really. Only one mining base, 29 workers total. Everybody here on this mineral patch is going to run out of food or run out of resources fairly quickly. But how do we break this? Again, I think I would just go Mass Corruptor. Just take these guys down. And then just bring Mutalisks to clean up the rest? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not playing. And when I play, my brain freezes up. It's easier to think up strategies when you're actually watching the game. Another Nidus Worm going to go down in flames. Ready, go. And the ashes rise into space. Very cool. Alright. We have the Hellions popping on in, but really there are no workers here, so a bit of a waste. I mean, look how many hits it takes to kill a queen. Wow. That is not a lot. And for some reason, Hellions do a ton of damage to larvae. Look at this. Alright, so pretty fun game again. I think I'd probably put this at maybe, oh boy, like silver level? Possibly. I don't know. I can't really say it's gold, just based on the fact that the, yeah, the use of the larva is not that great. Look how much money's in the bank. I guess we are maxed out, though, so maybe I'll take that back. But the roaches are here. Where the heck is the rest of the army is my question. All up here. Giant Roach Hydra army. Okay. The Hellions say, oh my gosh, there are bases everywhere. This is so bad for us. Coming on in, trying to kill some workers, transforming into Hellbats, making them a little bit more tanky, but I think this guy dies immediately, yes. And one Hellbat versus one Queen is not really a fair fight. The Queen takes him down. Little burning tire there does explode and disappears into ash as well. Tires burn up pretty quickly in this game. But either way, does this guy have all of his hatcheries hotkeyed? He does. Here on number 4, Nidus Worm is 1 for some reason. Roaches are... sorry, Nidus is number 3 for some reason. But here we go. Big push-up. Roaches and Hydras. Did we throw a parasitic bomb down? I don't know. But the anti-ground mode is not available. Liberators are not here in this particular fight. There we go. Blinding Cloud going down on all the tanks. Excellent play there. These tanks are useless. Pushing up with all the Roaches and Hydras, killing the Hellbats. Blinding Cloud wearing off, though. Do we have enough for another round? I don't think it matters. The tanks are spread out, and they are dying to these Roaches and these Hydralisks. All the tanks are now dead. Popping on up. And why did we get out of anti... Okay, so redeploying the anti-ground mode area here. Going to try to take down these Vipers first, doing a pretty darn good job of it. All the Vipers do die. Not enough energy for much of anything at all, unfortunately. Roaches pop in. They're going to try to kill this tank. No, the tank survives with 13 hit points. And this base survives for Waffles. That Roach Hydra army dies immediately. I don't know why everybody loves Roach Hydras in ZVT. From what I've seen, it's kind of odd, but the anti-ground mode, again, popping up. This is a good chokehold, a good place to put it. Is this like a graphics thing? Initially, we get kind of the blue circles. Oh, I think they changed it graphically. That was a patch note, right? They changed it so... Spork says, are you mining? Waffle says, yes. Yes, I certainly am. I'm not going to tell you, though. Liberators, anyway, used to actually throw down the blue circles everywhere that they were doing anti-ground mode, but I think that was a little bit of a problem for some people's graphics cards. So you'll see, yeah, then we just get the outlines showing the area of where those are available. Wow, actually two-shotting a Hydra there. Was that a two-shot? Where is this ability? I need something in anti-ground mode. Where are we, Liberators? Not over here, that's for sure. These guys are going to deploy, though. Do it. Liberator's actually running away from the Hydras. Roach Hydra coming up here. Finally, that tank does actually manage to go down. There we go. Anti-ground mode now deployed. And it does 101 damage. Holy cow. That is more than I thought. Being forced to run away. All these SCVs running to the secret 4th base, 5th base here, whatever it is. Everything dying here, though. Command Center manages to escape without actually burning down. Hydra is trying to snipe down the Liberators, but no. Man, look at the damage that anti-ground mode does. Good micro getting out of range there, though. And actually, our secret Nidus Worm here is gone. You cannot escape into it, unfortunately. Roach Hydra composition. Waffles desperately trying to mine here as well, throwing down the anti-ground mode defense. That guy's going to die immediately. Whack. Yep, see you later, Hydralisk. Big force of Roach's Hydras and an Ultralisk finally coming up. No attack upgrades, though. Woo! So 7 armor, but no attack. I'm not sure if that matters at this point. Zooming back on in, production tab shows most things being produced by the Zerg player. And the Ultralisk comes on in and dies immediately. Whoa! So even with that +7 armor, I think a bunch of attacks from those Liberators were enough to totally win. Roach's Hydras trying to kill what they can, sniping down one more Liberator. There are still 4 of them here, 2 of them here. Anti-ground mode really, really strong. And income actually coming up from Waffles as well. So Waffles really refusing to die. I mean, doing a good job here defending himself. That's what Terran's pretty good at, though, right? Defense? I think it is. Waffles calls the GG, though, as soon as I say that, and Spork is victorious. So, woo! 34-minute game there. Zerg player finally pulls it out with consistent Roach Hydra pressure. Drops in the early game. So many Lings dying. How many total Lings died in this game? Let's take a look. 190 Lings died, 92 Hydras, 167 Roaches, and 22 Mutalisks. Woo! That is a lot. That is a lot of dead Zerg units. So, fantastic replay. Thank you for sending it in, Lucas. That was really fun to cast. I hope you had fun playing it. If you're the winning player here, congratulations. And if you're the losing player, I commend you for sending me that replay and showing a loss. But either way, thank you so much for watching, everybody. This has been FalconPaladin. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook, all /FalconPaladin. Very easy to find. Until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.